Or do the rich people cringe and say, don't tell them that, Robert?
Yes. Don't tell people what you know.
Right.
Keep them poor. The moment I pay you, you think like an employee. The moment you accept the paycheck, your brain goes dead. That's the trap. Entrepreneurs work for free. As long as you're hungry, you'll think. The school system was designed to teach you to be an employee or a doctor or a lawyer, a specialist, but never about money. The poor will always be amongst us because it starts up here. It's in their words, and the words become flesh. But when they say, I can't afford it or I can't do that, they go down. They become what they say. And I meet so many people, I can't afford it. You think I'm made of money? My PhD dad, he says, what do you think I am, made of money? I can't afford that. And my rich dad would say, that's why he's poor. Poor people say, I can't afford it, I can't do that, I don't have time. Because it's an escape. It's an escape, you know what I mean? It's easy to say, I can't afford it. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I can't go to the gym. When you could go to the gym, no, I can't. Truth is, I'm just too lazy to go to the gym.
And your rich dad used to say what instead of, I can't afford it?
How can I afford it? How can I do that? A question opens the mind, a statement closes the mind. See, when you say, I can't afford it, the mind shuts down, and you become what you say. People right now who are sitting at home, who are struggling financially or worried about money or unhappy, they may be making a lot of money, but unhappy with what they're doing. It was probably taught to you. Your superego was taught, get a job, work hard, or you'll never be rich, or the rich are evil, or whatever. Poverty is passed on. It's taught in your families. And middle class is taught in families.
And until you change your mindset,
Correct.
Money won't help you, right?
Correct.
And we see that with people that win the lottery, people that make more money, they still have the same problem.
Right.
Because they have that poor man's soul.
Right. If you're poor, you'll always be poor.
That's really hard for people to
Yeah,
understand.
the money will disappear that fast. Just like most pro athletes, they make millions of dollars, and 65% are bankrupt 5 years later. It's because they come from poor families. But unfortunately, what Mr. Lipton was saying, it's passed down genetically. That's the frightening thing. If you don't want to learn it, I can't help you. I have bad luck too. I've had financial crashes. I've had people stab me in the back, but they're all good because I grow from it. And that's spirituality. People who are afraid of making mistakes, like they teach in school, they don't ever grow. Because spirituality is there's good and there's bad, there's right and there's wrong, there's up and there's down. Most people only want to be right, they only want to be positive. Well, you can't have that, that's not reality. And the average person, the reason they're poor is they haven't failed. They play it so safe, they haven't made any mistakes like they're taught in school. That means they don't learn anything. That's why the school system's actually fundamentally corrupt. It's anti-education. But the average guy is standing there, oh, I'm an A student, I'm going to do this all on myself. And a bunch of rugby players run you over, and you go, well, they're not playing fair. Yeah, well, you're playing stupid. You should have a team. You should have accountants, attorneys, and bankers and all that stuff. But that's not the game I want to play. I said, then don't play the game. The game of business is played with accountants, attorneys, bankers, hate to say it, politicians. You got to know the game. People say, well, money is not that important to me. Then if money is not that important to you, money is not important to you. You know what I mean? I don't care about money. The money doesn't care about you. The word does become flesh. Oh, I'll never be rich. Or the favorite one is the rich are greedy. It's the poor that are greedy. If you think about it, because to be rich, you have to give something. I have to produce books and games, and I purchase real estate, I provide housing, provide jobs and all that. That's why I'm rich. But greedy people produce nothing. You know, Einstein said, you know, imagination is more important than knowledge, but knowledge empowers imagination. And what most people lack is real business knowledge, like accounting, you know, like debt, like taxes. You gotta know that stuff, but they don't teach it in school to anybody. You see, most teachers in school, they're out of ethics. They teach subjects they themselves don't practice. Because I understood what a fake teacher is. A fake teacher is somebody who just wants a job and they'll teach anything. You know, they teach how to shine shoes if you pay them more money. But they really don't know what they're teaching. In life, one of the things I suggest to people, you gotta find a real teacher versus a fake teacher. And a fake teacher is somebody who doesn't do what they teach. And a real teacher is doing what they teach every day. Our school systems are making our students weaker. So in school, they have these things called now trigger effects. So you can't, as a teacher, you can't say anything that might upset the student. They don't want anything that might jar their point of view. You see people say, well, why don't you give the poor money? So the only problem with that is it just creates more poor people.
Give a man a fish, he fishes for the day, or eats for the day.
Yeah, you give a man a fish, you get a lot of people who want more fish, you know? But you teach them to fish. We become creatures of our own habits. And until we break the habit, we don't change. Our schools don't teach that. Our schools teach almost the exact opposite of that. And the average person, the reason they're poor is they haven't failed. You know, they play it so safe. They haven't made any mistakes like they taught in school. That means they don't learn anything. That's why the school system's actually fundamentally corrupt. It's anti-education. So what I say to young people is you find your game. So my game financially is business, number one. Second is real estate. And that's why I pay no taxes. That's why Trump pays no taxes. Legally, it is a combination of business and real estate that gives us an unfair advantage over employees because they don't know what to do. And a lot of people would rather sit in the stands than be in the game. One of the greatest ways to acquire great wealth is playing Monopoly in real life. 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. But is that all there is? That's it.
Robert, if I could give you some kind of a magic phone and you could make a call to the 20-year-old Robert Kiyosaki and give that young man a bit of advice, what would you tell him?
I would just say keep going. Just do what you have to do. Just, you know, live it to the fullest, which I did. Nothing I ever did made sense. Now, could you imagine quitting a $120,000 a year job for $200 a month to go fight in Vietnam and almost die? It didn't make sense, but it was the best decision I made at that time. And I think what most people do is they let their parents or their friends talk them out of life. So afraid of failing. But failing is how we succeed. You look at guys like Edison and all that. They failed like 1,014 times before he invented the light bulb. You know, our schools punish you for making mistakes. And that's why we have so many people who are so afraid of admitting they make mistakes or afraid of failing.
Let's look at gold now. Last time you were on, it's been about 2 years, and you were telling me how gold for you is real money.
Yes.
I'm guessing that your view hasn't changed much.
No, I started buying gold in 1972, right after I understood what Nixon did in 71 by taking us off the gold standard. And I've been a student of gold, which is why I love Kitco so much. See, gold is not only real money, it's spiritual money. I remember I was way out in Fiji one time talking to this guru out there, and I said, this guy was dripping with gold. I said, why do you have gold on? And he goes, looks like I was some kind of idiot, you know, he's a very spiritual man. He says, gold are the tears of God. Gold attracts wealth. So he says, if you want, let's say, $1,000 a month income, you hold $1,000 of real gold somewhere near your person, in your house. That's why he was hanging all around him. So it said real gold attracts, and it has so for thousands of years.
Yet it's not really attracting millennials yet, who seem more drawn to the cryptocurrencies right now. And I want to get your thoughts on that. So how do we get the younger generations interested in gold here?
Well, maybe someday they'll wake up is when they find out what real gold, what real money is. Like my friend James Rickards, you know, his great book is called The Road to Ruin. He talks about how the real long-term wealth people versus new money. New money is into derivatives, which is cryptocurrency and all that, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Old money has always been in gold, land, and artwork. So it really is, what is your view on wealth? And so for my wife and I, our view is eternal wealth. Like our goal is to donate $100 million a year to charities, long after we're gone. But most people are here today, gone to Maui, as they say.
Right.
You know?
So what do you think of forecasts that are out there that yes, gold will hit 5,000, 10,000 an ounce? What do you think of that?
I don't. That's what Mr. Rickards does, which I agree with him. It's probably 10,000 an ounce. His numbers work. But with me, it's just how much do I want to earn a month? So if I want 10,000 a month, I hold 10,000 in gold. I want $1 million a month, I hold $1 million in gold.
Right.
Gold is an attractor. If people could understand that, so every time my wife and I wanted more money, we would just buy more gold and our income went up.
Gold is money. Gold is gold. Gold exists since 2,800 years. We have 194,000 tons in the world and 80,000 tons are still in the ground, and that's it.
Gold has been through wars, imperial collapses, and natural disasters. Nevertheless, it has always been and will continue to be the universal equivalent. The next step into a golden success story gets started. November 2018, the official Karatbit exchange is established. December 2018, the official gold standard holding and the biggest mine in the world with 700 tons deposit of gold in Guinea to be opened. March 2019, the Gold Standard Bank in Guinea will be based. April 2019, Karatbars digital stock exchange where shares of businesses will be kryptonized for trading and blockchain smartphone working on the voice over blockchain protocol. July 4th, 2019, the Gold Independence Day. The visionary mission of Karatbars is to return gold to people. Starting from July 4th, 2019, everyone will be able to exchange pure gold to KBC at the rate of 100 KBC to 1 gram of gold. September 2019, Karatbars International will be starting operation on its own blockchain. Mainnet will be released. October 2019, Hard Fork Day. The creation of a single coin covered by gold. Both coins, KBC and KCB, will be transferred to their own blockchain with their market value protected. A single coin will be created, backed by gold and freely exchangeable for gold.
That's our idea. Some are trying gold-backed coins, but that's mostly just contracts. With us, it is actually about the physical gold, a real asset backing our coin.
The KB Universe gives you all the services necessary to trade and manage your funds. Karatbit offers you a platform to trade your cryptocurrencies for cash gold, US dollars or euros, and vice versa. KaratPay gives you the opportunity to do business online and pay products and services with the trust of gold backing it. The KCB coin is our digital currency used for all transactions within the KB universe. Karatbit, KaratPay, and the KCB will generate revenue with every transaction made. And the profit those services create goes right back into backing the KBC and the development of our ecosystem.
People can purchase their gold and that can be in their e-wallet, which is called KaratPay, and they can pay online using KaratPay, same like PayPal, credit card, or some other stuff.
Our ecosystem is designed to offer a solution for the entire world. We have our ATMs all around the globe, where people can change their coins and withdraw cash gold. I believe the Karatbars ecosystem will be the new leading financial system in the world within the next 10 years. Right now, there's no alternative to the debt caused by fiat currency. Germany owes $2 trillion, the U.S. $20 trillion, and no one can repay that. That's why we are creating a new payment system right now that has a real value. We want to bring back balance to the ecosystem and create more peace in the world.
Donald Trump says gold is better than cold, hard cash. Donald Trump is renting out the 50th floor of 40 Wall Street for 10 years to APMEX, American Precious Metals Exchange, and accepting 3 32-ounce gold bars as a security deposit.
Well, sadly, we all know what's happening to the dollar. The dollar is going down, and it's not a pretty picture, and it's not being sustained by proper policy and proper thinking. This was an opportunity, and maybe an opportunity to show people what's happening with the dollar so that we can do something about it.
How does the real value of precious metals compare to the U.S. dollar? We've seen all these bailouts, and we've seen the inflation, as we talked about. So how is gold tied to that?
Very good question. First of all, many people don't realize that the dollar, this right here, that dollar was worth 1.5 grams of gold when it first came out. That wasn't taught to me in schools. Was it taught to anybody else? And so the dollar, and this is the world's exclusive reserve currency until it isn't anymore. Okay? There's a shelf life with all money, and this is supposed to be a representation of your labor. But why is it worth less tomorrow than it is today? And so paper money is merely a substitute for real gold money. Okay? And so its role in society is back to the basics. Whatever happens to the dollar happens to everything you have kept in dollars. Okay? And so if there was a way that you could get back to real gold money as a preservation of your labor, that is where we need to head. Because it has created all the symptoms in society for it not doing what it used to do. It's really just that simple. But many people haven't paid attention to it because it's so slow. It's like a mouse eating on a little piece of a cookie. And so over time you see it, but not directly in a short sense.
So the dollar, one U.S. dollar, used to be equal to how many grams?
1.5 grams of gold.
So then what caused this shift?
Well, number one, the government could only print enough money as they had enough gold in their vaults to back it up. And when certain policies, even with good intentions, whatever, caused them to exceed that, they had to make a change and decouple it from gold. And I believe that was August 15th, 1971. In common sense, can the stewards of this ever tell you that it's in trouble? Logically, in common sense, they can't, because the confidence in it has to stay high. But we're seeing different things like Myras and, all the different aspects. Even in cities in California, they're taking the city pension funds and they're swapping them out with public trust bonds. Hard assets swapped out with public trust bonds, IOUs, to extend it. And so we're witnessing some things we haven't seen before, mainly because they've occurred before, but nobody's old enough to have lived through many of those changes, maybe in some countries, but not here.
Now, you're constantly referencing the U.S. dollar. Let's talk about the gold. Let's talk about real tangible gold. Okay. Could a metal like gold lose its value if a sizable mine perhaps is discovered or large investors decide that they're going to sell off their assets?
Well, that's a good point. You see, one thing unique about gold is its attributes that come with that particular metal. It doesn't rust. It doesn't rot. It's always equal to the task it takes to extract it, even if a sizable amount is found. You still have to extract it. And so the market determines what that's worth, but many times it's manipulated by the price of paper gold, not the same as physical metal. The price of gold may go up and down, but the physical buying power of the metal has never changed. It's always been stable. What an ounce of gold will buy today would buy it 100 years ago. Okay? It still translates. You could still buy those things in society. The dollar, no. For instance, $100,000 in cash in 1932 is only worth the buying power of $2,000 today. $100,000 in gold in 1932 is worth almost $4.5 million in buying power today. Which one would you rather have backing up your savings?
July the 4th, and over the following 5 years, our company has got some exciting timelines. July the 4th, Golden Independence Day, 100 KBC coins exchanged into 1 gram of gold. Then we have our mainnet, our blockchain launched in the month of September. Once our blockchain is launched, our KBC coin and our KCB coin will go from the Ethereum blockchain onto our mainnet blockchain. And they will merge and become one coin called the Gold Standard Coin, the GSC. How do you like that? The GSC, the Gold Standard Coin. And then January 1st of 2020, we will move and see 75 of our gold standard coins equaling 1 gram of gold. And these two dates, by the way, July the 4th, 2019, January the 1st, 2020, these are already, I hate to use the word guarantee, okay, because that's a very scary word. But the convertibility of coins into gold is already set, okay, and promised for these two dates, July the 4th and January the 1st of 2020, already set. So during this hard fork where our coins come together, the value of those coins does not change, okay? So the value stays the same. And what, you know, they're kind of estimating right now, first of all, the KBC is a 1-to-1. So however many KBC coins you have, you will be able to exchange 1 for 1. So if you have 100,000 KBC coins after the hard fork, you'll have 100,000 gold standard coins, okay? The KCB, the estimation, okay, so don't hold me accountable for this because it's an estimation based on value and what they're seeing based on sales, okay, is that 2 KCB coins will equal 1 gold standard coin. So if you have 100,000 KCB coins, then after the hard fork, those would turn into 50 gold standard coins. So if that was you with 100 here and 100 there, you'd end up with 150 gold standard coins.
Now, today, ladies and gentlemen, we have the solution for all and for the whole world. We opened this account, bank here with a full license because we have also bring special license in this bank. You must know that bank is a private bank before, and they has no accounts before. Because I think you know the transaction for the money is very difficult sometimes, that you move the money to Europe in the banks, or some banks they say, oh, I don't deliver the money to Karatbars, and I bring here the solution for you. And in the next 5-6 months, we have the license that you are, guys, you can open an account with the Karat Coin Bank, and you can move the money in which area you want. Who of you has a KBC token, a coin? In my opinion, you are now, in this moment that you buy for KBC, you are independent for the future, you are free.
So, we have mass adoption in cryptocurrency with a top 20 coin, an ecosystem, a bank that, imagine having your own card that's linked to your account, your cryptocurrency account, that if you want to go buy, I don't know, a nice pair of shoes, but boom, it's taking right from your cryptocurrency account. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Yes.